Maurizio Sarri's Lazio produced an immaculate performance at the Stadio Olimpico and dismantled AC Milan with an overwhelming scoreline of 4-0. In this video, we'll take a look how tactically they managed to dominate the current league champions through a false nine system and their two aggressive number 8s. Lazio had a positional fluid build-up. They looked initially to play short and one or two touch passes to attract the opposition press before playing through the opponent's line or switching the play with the intention to create one-on-one situations in the wide areas. Let's look at an example of how Lazio used positional play to play through AC Milan's 4-4-2 or what at times look at a 4-2-3-1 defensive structure because of Milan's double pivot marking Lazio's two number 8s. Zaccagni receives the ball from the right back Hisage and turns inward to the space vacated by Luis Alberto, who had drifted to the open wide space and provides a passing option to progress the ball. Lazio often used Luis Alberto's movement on the left side to progress the ball. This is Alberto's heat map against Milan, showing how often he drifted towards the left. Alberto played a big role in Milan's fourth goal. Initially, he drifts to the left side to receive the ball and then played Zaccagni one-on-one. He continued and timed his run brilliantly to receive the ball in the box and proceeded to set up Anderson for a great chance. Lazio also built up through the middle with the help of their false nine Anderson. Anderson, when he could directly link the play to the wingers or linked it with the midfielders to help the switch. Here, with Diaz, who was initially marking Cataldi, steps up to press Casale. He vacates space in the middle. Anderson drops and plays a first-time pass for Cataldi to make the switch and create a 1v1 situation out wide. Anderson produced a great performance and constantly dropped deep to help link up play. As we can see in his heat map against Milan, his false nine role was at the heart of Lazio's first goal. In the build-up to the first goal, Alberto takes an advanced position on the left with Benacer tracking him. This opens up space for Anderson to drop in, who goes on to find Zaccagni on the left wing. Alberto's advanced position again has an impact as Calabria now can't fully commit to closing down Zaccagni. Now with Kululu out of position because of tracking Anderson, the Lazio number 8s overload the box and Alberto does a brilliant dummy to set up Milinkovic-Savic to score the first goal in just the 3rd minute. Another great element of Lazio's performance was their aggressive counter-press. Lazio's counter-pressing, especially in the first half, stopped Milan from launching counter-attacks which they are very adept at. We'll look at a couple of examples of Lazio's counter-pressing here. Here, Zaccagni immediately applies aggressive pressure on Tatarusanu after Anderson loses the ball and forces the keeper to play long. In this situation, 3 Lazio players aggressively counterpressed Tomori after Pedro underhit a ball in behind for Anderson. This forced Tomori to turn and play a backfoot pass and gave Lazio players time to organize their defensive shape. Lazio players also showed great work rate and the team defended with a lot of numbers in the defensive third whenever required. Here we can see Lazio defending with 8 outfield players in the box to cut down Messias' options on the ball. Lazio's defensive shape and press in Milan's half look like a 4-1-4-1 or 4-5-1 defensive structure with the 2 number 8s in Luis Alberto and Milinkovic-Savic ready to step up and apply pressure. Alberto and Savic marked the Milan double pivot and looked for triggers to apply pressure on the centre backs, with their passes with the trigger being passes between the centre backs or a heavy touch. Their pressing runs also shadow marked the respective Milan midfielders. The 2 wingers stepped up to press whenever the fullbacks received the ball. After understanding this pressing structure, we can move on to Milan's game plan and how Lazio dealt with it. To play out from Lazio's press, Milan used Brahim Diaz to drop to the right side and use his dribbling and passing abilities to create a play by either dribbling past opponents, playing balls through the lines for the wingers, or switch the play. His heat map reflects how much he drifted to the right side to link up the play. He mostly looked for Leao after receiving and turning with the ball. Here, early on in the game, Diaz drifts to the right to provide a passing option through for Calabria through the press. After moving the ball around the press, he then receives the ball again in that space and turns to try to switch the ball to the left wing where Leao and Dest were overloading the flank. Lazio players recognized Milan's plan to play out their press through Diaz and started marking him closely with multiple players to stop him from turning or linking the play and cut Milan's attack at source. However, the Spaniard was still able to dribble past the Lazio players a few times. The Lazio back four were outstanding, with the two centre-backs only allowing Oliver Giroud to win one aerial duel, and they made 11 combined recoveries. This eliminated Milan's ability to play direct through the number 9. Hisach on the left side of the defense was very aggressive and won 8 ground duels, and on the right side, Marusic placed himself very well positionally to not be dribbled past even once when he was up against Rafael Leao. The right back won both of his tackles and made 2 interceptions and 3 recoveries. Both teams matched evenly on possession and chances, but Lazio were way more effective with their possession, producing an XG of over 3, whereas Milan had only one high-quality chance. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to Soccer Perspective.